last weekend, we were back in Virginia to experience opening weekend of Busch Gardens Williamsburg brand new seasonal event, Summer of Wonder. We will show you some highlights of this new event, as well as show you some things in the park that have recently reopened after renovations. But we also had another goal on this day in the park, which is to try out the Busch Gardens all-day dining deal. For $59.99 per person, plus about $10 taxes and online service fees, you can purchase this meal deal and eat a meal in the park once every 90 minutes throughout the day. Now, I'm not a good candidate for this offer. I'm the type of person who always has leftovers to take home from restaurants, so I can't imagine eating every 90 minutes or so. I was, however, able to convince Jack to try this out, for science. And we will share his review of the all-day dining deal with you now. We arrived shortly after the 10 a.m. rope drop and headed over to the Italy section of the park. There are technically two different Italy sections. There is Festa Italia section, which is home to several roller coasters, including Tempesto, a Polos chariot, and the very popular Pantheon that opened a couple years ago. There are some flat rides that I'm a fan of. And it is summertime, so you should know that Festa Italia is where one of my favorites is located, Roman Rapids. Now, Festa Italia has some snack options, but no restaurants that accept the all-day dining deal. So after an hour in Festa Italia, we turn the corner into the other Italy section called Italy. This section provides another chance to cool off with Escape from Pompeii, an indoor dark ride in a boat that ends in a splashdown. There are also some fun family rides, as well as a few that are just for young kids. And that brings us to a restaurant that I had never had a meal at before, Marco Polo's Marketplace, which features Italian, Mediterranean, and Asian cuisine.
So the way the all-day dining deal works is that everyone who has purchased the deal gets a wristband, allowing them to get a meal once every 90 minutes, consisting of one entree, one side or dessert, and a non-alcoholic beverage. There are 6 restaurants throughout the park where you can use this deal. Restaurants open about 11 a.m. and sometimes close up to an hour before the park closes. At Marco Polo's, I ordered rotisserie beef for my entree. They put roasted potatoes and roasted vegetables and pita bread on the plate, but that didn't count as my side because the entree just comes with those on the plate. So since I could still choose a side or dessert, I got chocolate pudding with Oreo crumbles on top. The beef was tender and flavorful, the roasted veggies and potatoes were good, the dessert was tasty. This ended up being my favorite meal of the day. Alice went and ordered some beef as well when she heard how good it was, because if you have the dining deal, you can't share your meals with anyone else. Customers caught sharing their dining deal food with others lose their all-day dining privileges. Anyway, Alice really liked the beef as well. If I didn't have the all-day dining deal, the entree would have cost me $21.99. The dessert would have been about $7, so not even counting the drink, I would have spent $29 on this meal had I not had the all-day dining deal. This venue has outdoor seating around a stage, though much of the seating is under a roof. If you time it right, there are musical performances on this stage at certain times throughout the day. You can check the schedule on the app for details. We can see the Loch Ness Monster in the distance as we cross the bridge from Italy to Germany. The Loch Ness Monster, a classic coaster that has been open since 1978, is all new this season. It just reopened recently after refurbishments that included 900 feet of new track that has made the ride a lot smoother. They also added a bit more story elements and improved the visuals inside the cave portion of the ride. And now you actually come face to face with the Loch Ness Monster itself near the end of the coaster. This is the only roller coaster in America with an interlocking loop. With the refurbishments complete, it should be around for a whole new generation of coaster fans to enjoy for years to come.
I am going to pass. On the other side of the bridge, we see the final drop from Verboten, a fun family coaster in the Germany section of the park. There are technically two Germany sections at the park as well. The Germany section is home to the Kids Land of the Dragons and the Carousel. But we spent time in the other German section next door, Oktoberfest. That is where you can find two family coasters, Verboten and Dark Coaster, as well as a couple more flat rides and some carnival games. But Oktoberfest is also home to not one but two restaurants that accept the all-day dining deal. First up is the creatively named German Pretzels and Beer.
So I waited a little over 90 minutes after meal number 1. And then it was time for more. This is another place we've never visited. You probably won't be surprised to learn that the restaurant called German Pretzels and Beer serves pretzel and beer. The menu includes pretzel dogs, pizza pretzels, various sandwiches on pretzel buns. At this location, your meals on the dining deal will not include sides unless you get one of the sandwiches on a pretzel bun, which I did. I got the ham and cheese sandwich. I love pretzel buns, and the ham and cheese was really good. If you get one of the sandwiches on pretzel buns, they come with house-made chips, which were also pretty good. I was not actually hungry when I got here, but I didn't feel overly full either yet, so this was enjoyable. Not counting the drink, the sandwich with the house-made chips would have been $13.99 had I paid for it directly instead of getting the all-day dining plan. There are a few outdoor tables nearby to eat at.
A short walk away from German Pretzels and Beer is the Fest House. Jack did not eat at Fest House on our recent visit, but we have eaten there before, and we can show you some footage from the past of what our food looked like. This place is known for German food and pizza. The last time we ate there, we got the German sampler, which featured roasted chicken, bratwurst, knockwurst, and corned beef with sauerkraut and German potatoes. The current price for that is $22.99. Our friend who was with us last time got a salad and fried pickles. Jack has gotten the pizza here before and said it was alright theme park pizza. The best thing about eating here is the large seating area in the air conditioning. The second best thing here is the show that you can see as you eat. Even though we weren't eating here, we stopped in for a bit to enjoy the air conditioning and to see the show called Oktoberfest. This show features traditional German music and dance with a modern vibe. It is entertaining. We like the food here okay, but don't love it. But if you need to get out of the sun and enjoy a good show, then plan to stop by the Fest House. You can check the park's app for showtimes. Speaking of cooling off in the summer, check out my Amazon affiliate page to see my list of summer travel essentials. Click the link in the description to check it out. If you click that link and then purchase anything on my list, or just about anything on Amazon, Within a few hours of clicking on the link, then I get a small commission to help keep this show on the road, and it won't cost you anything extra. We appreciate the support.
We also want to tell you about this year's new seasonal event, Summer of Wonder. The park features some art installations, as well as some artists actually creating some art in the park, like this guy who was working on painting a Summer of Wonder mural. There were some murals along the walkway that were very cool to see. There were even some that are not yet complete, as I assume artists will be in the park working on these in the coming days. This is a cool idea to feature some local artists, and it gave us some cool things to see as we were walking around the park. We liked it, but there wasn't a whole lot to it. I don't know the plan here. Perhaps the park is going to get more and more filled with art that people are working on as the summer goes on. It looked like they were just getting started, but that does make sense since it was opening weekend of Summer of Wonder. Anyway, it's nice. We were just expecting more, and that may be the plan in coming weeks. There were some summer decorations hanging about, like these koi fish kites hanging above us on the bridge we crossed earlier. Or these umbrellas hanging above the France section of the park. Ireland had butterflies and dragonflies hanging above us. We'll show you that in a bit. The event continues the park's summer tradition of having Saturday night concerts. The band 38 Special was in concert on opening weekend when we were there. Future concerts feature Flo Rida, Bret Michaels, Switchfoot, and more. The concerts are free with your park ticket. The park will also have fireworks on both Friday and Saturday nights, weather permitting. There's a DJ booth sponsored by Coca-Cola, so you can participate in some of the latest dance crazes. Or one from 2012, as is the case here. There's some limited time food and drink offerings available this summer. Just look for the Summer of Wonder menu boards around the park.
All summer long, annual pass holders get free beer. All other adults get 50-cent beers with a limit of 2. The free beer stand is set up in Germany. Also, Burgermeister's Hideaway has an all-new summer drink menu. You should definitely check out this speakeasy experience, if you can find it. We crossed back over to England to see the show in the Globe Theatre. It is called American Jukebox Summer Remix. I loved this half-an-hour show. It features songs from the 1970s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, and they even added a couple more at the end that were pretty recent. There is a plot to this show, but there's not a lot to it. It is basically an excuse for them to sing and dance to a bunch of popular songs, but a lot of them are songs I love, and I always love singing along to this show. When we left the theater, we were surprised. Squire's Grill was open. It's been closed for months for refurbishment. We did hear it would open in the spring, but we checked just before our trip and it was still closed. But it opened for the busy summer season and it accepts the all-day dining deal.
About 2 hours had passed since the last meal. I got some footage of the refurbished restaurant and then checked out the menu. We used to eat fish and chips here, but now the menu is just burgers and chicken. I got a cheeseburger and some fries with a chocolate cupcake because the fries just came with the burger, so they don't count as a side. I am a little confused by when something counts for a side and when it doesn't. The burger did not taste good. They did not give me many fries, and the fries I did have were all cold. The cupcake itself was dry and bland, but the icing on top was great. I ended up throwing away a part of my burger, most of the fries, and about half of the cupcake. The burger was $15.99. The cupcake was $8.99 if you buy them individually. So if I hadn't had the dining deal, I would not have been happy about paying $24.98 for this meal, which again doesn't even count the cost of the drink, which comes with the dining deal meals. The seating here is all outdoors. There's also a walk-up window selling funnel cakes and ice cream that's connected to Squire's Grill. We then took a ride on the train around the park and ended up in New France, home of Invader, a fun hybrid wood-and-steel coaster with lots of airtime hills. It's also home to the park's other popular water ride, the Log Flume.
New France is the home of another restaurant that accepts the all-day dining deal, Trapper's Smokehouse. We have eaten here many times, but Jack did not eat here on this most recent trip. They have good ribs, brisket, and barbecue chicken. This is above average for food served at a theme park. From New France, we walked back to just plain France, home of Griffin, a ride I would never subject myself to in a million years. But it's also home to Les Fritz, a garage-themed restaurant with a car from an old ride from long ago out front, and it serves fresh-cut fries. And they take the all-day dining deal.
So a couple more hours passed since my last meal, and I got the bacon and cheese fries with sour cream, bits of bacon, and cheese sauce. The sign said it came with shredded cheddar cheese, but this was definitely a cheese sauce ladled on, which was a little disappointing. Maybe they were out of shredded cheddar? But then I tasted the fries, and they were delicious. The fries themselves tasted much better than fries I've had elsewhere in the park. The cheddar and bacon ended up adding to it nicely. Whatever they're doing with fries here is what they should do with fries all over the park. Maybe these are the same fries they're serving elsewhere, and it just so happens they were cooked perfectly and still hot, and had some good toppings on them. I don't know. But this was really good. A good portion of it still hit the trash can though, because a thing I learned on this particular park visit is that I don't need a meal every 90 minutes. Without the dining deal, these fries run around $15. As we walk through Ireland toward the exit, let's do a little math. I paid $70 and some change for the all-day dining deal, plus taxes, plus online service fees. I ended up ordering 4 meals while we were in the park. If I hadn't had the dining deal, I would have spent about $83 on just the food. I didn't include the drinks that came with each meal, as the menus we filmed didn't list the price of drinks. Let's say they're about $3.50 a piece. They could be more, I don't know. But since I couldn't find the price online, we'll say $3.50. The approximate cost of 4 drinks added to the total without the all-day dining deal raises it to $97. So compared to the $70 for the dining deal, I definitely saved money here. And we left before 5 p.m. Had we stayed all evening, I could have had 2 more meals, saving even more money. But here's why I would never buy the dining deal again. We usually only eat 1, and occasionally maybe 2 meals in a day at a theme park. And we often split meals because we don't like walking around feeling overly full in the hot sun at a theme park while we're trying to enjoy ourselves. So we don't usually spend $70 on meals at the park for just the 2 of us. Another consideration is that every meal I got was another line I had to wait in. And while they weren't as long as the lines for the most popular coasters, that was still time eaten up in line for food that couldn't be spent out having fun. So in closing, I tried some restaurants at the park that we hadn't tried before. I had some good food, some really good food, and some typical low-quality theme park food. But I spent more on that dining deal than I have ever spent on food just for myself at this park in one day before.
Check out the link at the end of this video to see our thoughts about the other Busch Gardens, Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. How does it compare to our home park in Williamsburg? We'll let you know. I'm Alice.
And I'm Jack.
And we'll see you the next time we're traveling through.